It's hard to choose a security system nowadays because there are so many different ones available. So I will narrow it down to single camera plug-and-play systems that are suitable even for renters who can't modify their homes much. I will show you here 3 different ones. An old Cisco IP camera, Canary Pro, and the new blockchain encrypted camera. All 3 can be used either with Wi-Fi or Ethernet cable connection, and all 3 can notify you if they detect movement. The narrowest field of view of them all is on Cisco IP camera, and the widest is Canary. The UCam is in the middle, but it has a head that can be rotated in any direction with an app, so it can cover wider area than the Canary. Let me show you all 3 in action as I enter my apartment pretending to be a burglar. As you can see, the UCam notifies me in the same instant as I open the door. 10 seconds later, I get a notification from Canary, and it shows me the image it grabs. About a minute later, I get an email from my security system using the Cisco camera. The delay is due to the time the email is fetched from the Gmail, and it only contains a single frame of the capture. Now I'll go in a bit of a detail for all 3. Let's start with the Cisco camera, which is an enterprise-grade hardware. It is a very old camera but still working. There is no app for it, but you can access it via web browser from your local network and change settings. The resolution is only 640 by 480 and no night infrared light. The advantage over the other 2 is that it doesn't rely on any service and the camera itself will send you an email on motion detection. So even if Cisco goes out of business, which I doubt it would still work. It can continuously record to a Samba share if you have a home server. I have a Synology Home cloud server, and one of its features is a security system, which has recognized my camera and it will do its own motion detection and notifications. It is truly private, and I can do a review of a Synology server if there is interest. The second camera I use is Canary Pro, which costs $100 on Amazon. Upon motion detection, it will notify you, but if you don't pay $10 monthly subscription, it will just show you a 10-second clip of each event. All recordings are stored on Canary servers, and I'm not a fan of this as very often I hear news of some security camera getting hacked. Anyway, it can detect people, so if you have a dog, it won't notify you for them moving around. It can also monitor your temperature, humidity and air quality, but I compared those values with 2 weather stations that I have nearby and the values were wrong, so there isn't much value in it. The third camera is a UCam, and it is the first camera that I have heard of that uses blockchain-based accounts, and it has end-to-end encryption. Many other companies will process and store your videos on their servers and just control user access behind the password, which could be hacked. But this camera encrypts your video feed in the camera with your private key before storing it on both camera and the UCam servers. So even if their servers get hacked, or the data is intercepted in transit, the hacker would just get a garbage data as only your private key can decrypt it. The company doesn't have the access to any of your video feeds or your private encryption keys. So to be clear, the videos are not stored on the blockchain. The blockchain guarantees the only encryption key for the UCam is owned by you with full verifiability. And this is not so-called proof of work type of blockchain like Bitcoin that needs miners and huge amounts of energy. As I mentioned, the head of this camera is motorized for 360-degree rotation and tilt, and you can use a phone app to rotate it around to see different parts of your environment. It has a microphone and speaker, so you can also talk with your pet while at work. It is very light and I would recommend mounting it somewhere as the weight of the cable itself could make it tumble off the shelf. I plan to place it between the kitchen and the entrance, so I can spin it toward the entrance or the gas stove to check if it's off. It also has infrared lights, like the Canary, if the scene is too dark. In the free plan, it has 10 seconds recording per event, but it also has an additional SD card storage. For $2 a month, you get 20 seconds events recording or 30 seconds for $4. That is per event. The camera itself costs $50, so half of the price of the Canary, and I still prefer it over the Canary. The videos on the card are encrypted, so if a burglar takes your camera, they won't be able to access the videos on it. The last test I did is I tried opening a door and in less than 10 seconds disabling the cameras by disconnecting the power. Cisco and UCam notified me while Canary didn't. I hope this video has helped you with your research. Check the description and comments for any updated information, questions and discussions on this. Cheers!